We got Callum Smith is fighting John Ryder.
Munguia, Jaime Munguia.
Jaime Munguia. Thank you, Juice. Juice is on it. Shout out to Juice God. Juice God be on it. Shout out to Dorian. Dorian back here flipping the switches and all that too. So we got to give a shout out to y'all. But yeah, I think. Who you got winning that fight?
So Jaime Munguia and John Ryder. I was watching the highlights. I'll be honest. I'm not super familiar with either fighter, but in watching the highlights, I just think Munguia is just like more my style. I like a lot of energy. I like a lot of power. I like a lot of output, and I think that's important. I'm not saying Ryder doesn't have those things in boxing. That of course. You display that when you're allowed, and you know the opponent makes room for you too. But I'm gonna have to go with my melanated brother Munguia.
There it is.
You know what I'm saying?
Viva Mexico! I feel you on
You
that.
know what I'm saying? I gotta go with my melanated brother on that
Come in
one.
with the mariachi bands and all
you know,
that.
shout out
You know what I'm
Munguia.
saying?
Let's bring it home. You know what I mean?
I like that, and you changed my heart on who I want to win, but I just think John Ryder's gonna win.
Yeah.
I think he's a little bit more technically sound. Munguia wants to just kind of walk you down and throw these big bombs on you, and he's been successful with it.
Yeah.
But the level of competition, I don't think it's been the same as Ryder.
I can
the
see
fight
that.
that Ryder had with Colin Smith, that's probably why I said Colin Smith, because they had a good little fight, and it was real close. And I personally think Ryder showed a little bit more skill set on that fight. So him against Jaime Munguia, like I said, I root for a good Mexican who gonna walk you down and apply that pressure, because pressure busts pipes. Ever since like Margarito a long time ago, before he got caught with the hand wrap issue. But I love that style fight because it's entertaining. It's entertaining as all outdoors.
Yeah, I think
But money in my pocket, I'm gonna have to go with John Ryder.
Yeah, we definitely love an all-out brawl, right?
Yeah.
You wanna in boxing, you wanna see people get hit. I think
That's why you like them KOs.
Especially now, you know, in this season of boxing where it's like really important to preserve your record and your face.
Gosh,
you know?
I know, right?
So it's cool and entertaining when you see people who are like, you know, Munguia or like Teofimo that are not scared to get hit in the face, and they can bring all the, you know, bring the vibes, bring the vibes. With that said, like I said, I'm gonna always go with energy and output and power, and we'll see. In heart, and we'll see. And there are very, very, very few people with more heart than we know than our Mexican boxers. Period. So
That's their thing.
yeah. So
They're fighting the phone booth, and it's about who got the most heart. So when I say we're gonna do a Mexican style fight, that's a term of endearment. You see what I'm saying? It's not like that's what it is. Like who got the most heart? They in the phone booth, boom, boom. And then they be in the hospital next to each other, in the beds next to each other, talking about this is my best friend now.
I don't know.
Y'all just went to war.
I don't know how much evidence we have of that, but
Please, they go to war.
but
And be like, oh, we good now.
shout out to our Mexican family, the Hispanics across the diaspora.
Shout out.
In the boxing world, that's a given. We know that. We know that to be true.
Now the thing is what they're aiming for is the winner's probably going to try to fight Canelo.
I feel like everybody's trying to fight Canelo. Every
that's
single
the bag.
person
That's the bag.
in the whole world is
That's
trying
the
to fight
bag.
Canelo.
So you know what I'm saying?
If I was
That's
Canelo,
the bag.
I'd
Jimmy
tell him
shot.
to call me back.
And that's what you do.
Yeah, it's like
That's what you've been doing.
I don't know who's.
Now he fought John Ryder already.
Yeah, I don't know
So-
who's like. I'm trying to watch all these fights and see who's actually demonstrated that they can get in there with Canelo and it be worth it. So I think they should just do a lot more fighting each other first.
I think Canelo will wipe y'all nose.
Yeah, I'm like.
I mean,
you
clean
know.
up. Just clean your nose on up. You know what I'm saying? The little squeeze little thing in your nose, clean it on up. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think Jaime Munguia got nothing for Canelo.
I just haven't seen it
like
yet.
Canelo was De La Hoya's golden child until Canelo was like, De La Hoya, you on some bullshit. And so he left. And so now De La Hoya's like trying to bring Jaime Munguia up to be this
Well, I mean, that's the game. That's the game of promotion. I mean, that's and a lot of boxing, right? And it's just like most entertainment industries. It's only a certain percentage of talent. You know what I mean? A lot of it relies on the team around you, the ability to create value in your stock and your performance. And so you can't be mad at that. I think we all want to see the rise of something new. Canelo's getting older. We talked about older boxers. Yeah. And so
he be fighting with a knee brace sometimes.
It's a wonderful time that we're in, right? Because you see older, and older is so crazy because in life, none of these ages are old, but when you work in such a physical sport as boxing, right. Let's say it adds time, right, on your years, and people are more likely to say you're older than you are, right? But I think it's important that we usher in the next generation because we want to know what's new and exciting, and sometimes the hype is necessary.
Hype is necessary,
and and even if the hype is to hype you to get your ass knocked out, that's just what it is, and we enjoy that because we enjoy a good story. But I think a lot of these people that we're even talking about today and that we're seeing, we see a lot of people just calling out Canelo. I think a lot of people have to put a lot more notches on their belt before they're actually ready to get in with the guy.
And that was my problem with Canelo for the longest. Like, why are you fighting all these guys that don't have no notches on their belt? Now that was definitely a point that a lot of people are still on.
But I think the other side of that is at least he's fighting. Because then you would be like, oh man, you're not having no fights and you're not out there. And sometimes it's like you have to find that balance too, right? Because it is a business, and I think people are very. And that's the thing, as we watch boxing and we get to see really a lot of like behind the scenes things. And I think we're just in that time in life where you get to see how things work, right? And so seeing how people in the business, you have to walk that fine line between, okay, I'm gonna be active, I'm gonna be taking fights, keeping myself on the mind of the fans, but I also need to be mindful of the things that I'm doing because the record is important, my image is important. And so it's like, oh, I gotta give some new people a shot, but then they also have to earn it. And then I don't know, I'm like, he might be kind of good, I could risk the knockout, but maybe I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? And I think
he errs on the side of caution way too much for me.
But I think, and that might be true. I think now though we are entering a point of, I think just as a collective, where people want to see what you can actually do. Yeah. And you're gonna have to prove kind of the worthiness of these titles and these belts and stuff. And so I think over the next year or two, we're going to see some really good fights where people are like, because people are like, okay, yes, I got the perfect record and I got 100 million KOs and, haven't lost one fight and look at my face, that whole thing. We are in the pretty boy era of boxing, but we about to get back to, I got these hands, come get some.
See, that's what I'm saying. It's like if you are the face of boxing or one of, shout out Tank Davis, or what's his new name? Abdul Wahid. Shout out to you. So those are like the two biggest faces of boxing right now. But Canelo has been doing it for a long time. And so if it's certain people who everyone has been wanting you to fight for the longest and you don't fight them, then it's a bad look. But then it's even worse look when you didn't fight this guy for his title and you wouldn't fight him for his title. Then all of a sudden he get popped dirty with something and he loses belts, and now you go say, oh, okay, now I'm gonna go fight for that vacant title, and then decide I don't even want to fight that guy. You see what I'm saying? That just rubs a lot of folks wrong. It's the Mexican monster is what we're talking about.
But that happens all the time though. You know what I mean?
But it shouldn't happen with folks like Canelo.
But
not for that long.
I feel like that's not fair because
it is. If you were the best at the weight class, and I'm coming to weight class claiming, oh, okay, I'm undisputed, but I ain't never fight you, but everyone knows you were the best at the weight class. And I'm taunting, I'm the best in the weight class, but I won't fight you. And everyone knows you were the best.
But I feel like but like I said, we know in all the entertainment business, talent only matters so much. the numbers have to make sense. All that have to make sense. The teams have to agree. Everybody has to agree that it's a good thing for you at that right time. So you could want to fight whoever until you blue in the face, and that could change at any moment. We just saw that with Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney.
True, but
and now he's fighting Rolly. And so it's like,
because it made sense.
But that's what I'm saying. It's all these times. Oh yeah, I want to fight this person. Oh, I want to do this. I want to do that. And that's just at the end of the day, I think the boxers have the least amount of control. So and that coupled
Canelo
with
all the control.
But that's coupled with all the things.
They changed drug rules for Canelo.
But that's the thing. You think so?
No, they did.
But no,
he got popped dirty, and they changed the rules.
But the thing is, that doesn't denote control. That denotes investment in the situation and the fighter. And so if the money is in jeopardy, yes, we're gonna make some changes to make sure we don't lose our investment on what we got going on. And these are different things. But that's what I'm saying. It's business. I don't know.